Donald Trump shaking up the global economy, and it affects you, it affects every country around the world. Don't think it just affects America. Let me explain. First of all, what's he done? He's put tariffs on other countries selling cars into America. 25% tax. That really affects Mexico, it affects Canada, it affects Japan, it affects Germany, it affects various countries, including South Korea around the world. Companies that are selling it in, they now are likely to sell less cars. Why? They're just simply more expensive. But it also affects cars that are made in America, because most cars made in America, they're partially made in either Canada or Mexico, or maybe even both. So all of those cars go up in price. It affects the global economy for a number of different reasons. Just think, if you're in Canada, well, obviously companies that are selling cars and producing cars and car parts, they're actually going into a downturn. They can sell less cars unless they find other markets super quickly. So that means that the economy in Canada actually has a downturn. It's not just that there's one industry, it affects every industry. In other words, if you lay off lots of people, it doesn't mean just that industry is affected. Well, those people were spending money. What were they spending money on? There's a domino effect. So think, when Mexico suffers because they can't sell the cars in, Americans suffer because they're paying more for cars. Actually, nobody wins. Okay, you can say, well, Donald Trump then gets more cars made in America. Yes, that's potentially true. But fairly obviously, it's not easy to pick up a plant that's in Mexico and suddenly just produce everything in America. And is it then even less expensive than just staying in Mexico and paying the 25%? It shakes up the economy, doesn't just affect the car industry. So if you're an investor, where do you invest? Okay, well, obviously shares have already had their downturn. In other words, the news is out. And when the news is out, the price has gone down. So don't think, oh wow, price has gone down. Okay, I better not be buying shares. They're going to go further down. Okay, well, that's not necessarily the case. In actual fact, once the price or the information's in the news, the price goes down. And actually, if you think one of those companies, let's go with a German company, just as an example. It may be a bad example, time will tell, but it could be a great example. German company selling cars into America. Okay, great. It has a problem. It can sell less cars. Okay, but, all right, price goes down, stock goes down. Can they find other markets quickly? Can they sell more cars in China? Can they produce more trade in other countries? Can they actually find ways of producing more and selling more into other countries? Does it then mean that because tariffs go in on America, that less American cars come into that particular country? So can they take advantage? In other words, I'd actually argue America suffers probably more than most. And despite what they say, actually the effects of tariff is not good for America in the long term. However, Donald Trump is a negotiator. It's fairly obvious that at some stage, he's done this early in the presidency, he's probably going to go in the other direction. Confidence is not. Don't forget that when the consumer has less confidence, again, it affects everything. It affects businesses. Confidence is not. So, all right, you get early on in the presidency, potentially a downturn. Expect as the presidency go on, all of these things to be removed or at least reduced. So guess what? Actually, if you can spot the winners when the price has gone down, you can actually make money. Please like, share the video. Okay, I think it's good information that everybody should know.